Many thanks for your time here on News Today. To our very first story, and the Inspector General of Police has directed that the Criminal Investigations Department takes over investigations into circumstances leading to the death of Isaac J at Majo here in Accra. Isaac J was shot and killed by the police early this week during an operation to arrest a suspected armed robber in the locality. Accra Regional Police PRO ASP Fiatenge says an independent pathologist will conduct an autopsy for purposes of transparency. But let's get more on this particular story from my colleague Kwete Nate, who joins us live now over the telephone with a lot more. So Kwete, what has necessitated this particular probe? Kwete Nate, if you can hear me, I'm asking, what has called for this particular probe? Well, it appears my colleague Kwete Nate cannot hear me, and if he can, I would ask once more. Kwete Nate, I'm asking, what has necessitated this probe? Right. So apparently Kwete Nate cannot hear me. We'll try as much as possible and work on the lines. Once we do have him, we'll bring that particular story back to you. But away from that, the government has secured a $50,000 rifles and ammunition deal for the Ghana Immigration Service. Now, the deal is to enable the country's security agencies, particularly the immigration, effectively police the country's borders. An arms manufacturing company based in the Czech Republic made a deal with government. Outgoing Interior Minister Mark Woyongo says the Ghana Immigration Service is in dire need of these weapons to stabilize all of the country's borders.
Thankfully, the company has promised to give us 250 SA-58 rifles and ammunition for the Ghana Prison Service.
Ghana Immigration
Service. The arms and ammunitions are valued at about $50,000, and they will be delivered in the next 3 months. And we are very appreciative of the gesture, because it will go a long way to help the Immigration Service strengthen security, especially at our entry points. Besides, some of them will be used internally in country by officers who are working within the country. So it's a very good gesture, and it will help us stabilize our borders. It will also send a warning to miscreants, adventurers who would want to come into our country to think twice.
Mr. Woyongo says the Interior Ministry is also working towards the release of funds for the purchase of more arms for the Ghana Police Service. Now, this, he believes, will enable the police combat crime more effectively.
We are also making a very strong case for monies to be released to purchase more arms and ammunition, not only for the Immigration Service, but for the Ghana Police Service. Ghana Police Service definitely needs some more weapons and ammunition, because there are some policemen who are going around without arms, without ammunition. So we are making a very strong case to the Minister of Finance for some consideration. I'm hoping that we should be able to do that, because it will help us beef up security, especially in the wake of what is happening in our neighboring country.
We can do some other stories now, and the students of Commander College of Education are agitating for the removal of the school's principal, Mrs. Comfort Saponakosa, for extorting monies from them. Now, they say Comfort Akosa has been charging unapproved fees and exploiting the system to her own advantage. Now, the students are also calling for the removal of the school's bearer for his alleged involvement in some corrupt activities in the school. Let's get more on this from correspondent Richard Kojunyako, who joins us on phone now with the very latest. Hi, Richard. Now, tell us more about the concerns of these students in the first place.
Well, early this morning, the students, numbering over 500 strong,
the school premises and wearing red armbands, and they were holding a lot of placards. We cannot be with you again, the best of the school. Please stop your corrupt activities. The president must intervene. The president must hear. The parents are suffering, and a whole lot of them. But the students say that this issue has been raging on for quite a while, and they decided to activate the demonstration as a way of registering their displeasure to enable the intervention of the Ghana Education Service. According to the city, monies put on the bill for the execution of some projects are not used for such purposes. Apart from this one, too, they also complain that other colleges of education, when they put their bills side by side with theirs is at a higher side. Let's look at Fosu Training College, for instance, where they cited, and Fosu College of Education, they are paying 646 Ghana cedis. Ola College of Education, they are paying 861. Holy Child College of Education, they are paying 796 Ghana cedis. And Commander College of Education, they are paying 1,218. And so they see this one as a clear case, and what they describe as clear case of daylight robbery. And so they are demanding the dismissal of the BEZA and the principal of the college for all of these things, because they also complain that currently they have been made to pay 30 Ghana cedis for some establishment of a loan, which to them, this loan, establishment of the loan, will never see the light of day. They will never execute this kind of project. So they want the intervention of the Ghana Education Service.
Quite interesting there, but have you been able to interact with these people who are accused of exploiting the system and taking advantage of these students? I'm speaking of the principal and probably the BEZA or any other school authority on this particular matter.
Well, they have remained tight-lipped. I've been to the school and they are having a crucial meeting. The person who came out also declined to speak on record, and he came to calm the student down, but the student did not budge, and then they went outside the school premises and went to the Commander Township to further demonstrate, to ensure that everyone in the Commander Township will know whatever is happening in the school.
So what is to happen now? Does this in any way, in the first instance, does this in any way suggest that there was no school activity today, and moving forward, what are we to look at in the coming days, particularly on Monday? Are they to go back to school?
The students woke up wearing their house jerseys, and most of them were red, and they had distributed red armbands to the students, and so they did not go to their classrooms, and they have been demonstrating ever. But they are saying that if these things are not addressed, they will demonstrate until the school is closed down for an amicable redress to happen.
Interesting. Many thanks for your time on this particular story, and that was our colleague and our correspondent on this particular bit, Richard Kojo, bringing us a lot more on that story, where students of the Commander Teacher Training School, they are demonstrating and calling for the head of the school's principal and the BEZA. We'll be bringing you a lot more on this in subsequent bulletins, particularly on the Pulse, which airs at 3 p.m. on this very same channel. We can move on and do some more stories now. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority says it is putting in place measures to curb the activities of Goro Boys in the acquisition of roadworthy stickers. Now, this follows the arrest of one person for allegedly faking roadworthy stickers of the DVLA. Head of Public Relations at the DVLA, Kweku Dakwafere, explains how the Goro Boys managed to infiltrate the system.
If you look at the manual roadworthy sticker, it was not machine readable. Then it got to a point where the fraudsters what the fraudsters were doing was almost exactly the same as we were issuing to our customers. So we said, let's introduce the electronic roadworthy sticker. Now, what the electronic roadworthy sticker does is to ensure that every vehicle that goes to the process of testing stores the information on the vehicle on the barcode that is on the roadworthy sticker. And so, as we said, with a special device, the police are able to detect and tell a fake roadworthy sticker from a genuine one. Nobody from a DVLA has said that the electronic roadworthy sticker cannot be faked. I'm not too sure whether there's any document in this world that cannot be faked. But we are saying that the advantage of the electronic roadworthy sticker is that it makes it very easy for us to differentiate between the fake ones and the genuine ones. And I think we must understand this. Our expectation has been that once the MTTD officials monitor and continue to arrest drivers who patronize the services of the fraudsters and they are prosecuted, it will be a deterrent to others who might want to also access the same service. Again, as we indicated in the statement, when vehicles with this roadworthy also come back subsequently to our offices to renew, we also insist that they pay for the period that they use the fake roadworthy sticker. And we believe that this will also be a deterrent to them to move away from patronizing the services of the fraudsters. So all in all, we believe that once the police continue to prosecute and we also continue to check, there will come a time that our customers will move away from patronizing the services of the fraudsters and officially deal with the DVLA. Okay, so again, we are also very mindful of the fact that we need to fast-track our services. As we speak, we are in Kumasi. We are doing our work plan for 2016, and those are the very issues that we are going to discuss here. I believe that come the end of this year or pretty soon, we shall begin to see a lot of changes in DVLA.
Okay, so Mr. Ferry further assures the authority has secured a lot more logistics to help track down these Goro boys.
Received a number of the devices from the Controller and Accountant General's Department, which was the authority that produced the electronic roadworthy for us, and it's supposed to come with the device. We know we need to increase the number in the system. We have been going around introducing the Chief Executive to our offices dotted around the country, and wherever we go, we give them some of the devices. I can assure you that we'll be on them and make sure that we increase the numbers so that the purpose for coming up with a device will be achieved.
Do we have enough of these devices in the system as we speak now?
Yeah, yes, we do, especially around the Greater Accra, where we have observed an increase in frauding activities. But again, let me also touch briefly on the amount that was stated, and to explain that we think the 40 million, the alleged 40 million is not right, especially given the fact that during the period that we did not sell the manual stickers, we sold the electronic stickers. We are saying that we produced the manual roadworthy stickers that we ordered as a stopgap measure at 1.8 million Ghana cedis. We have asked our head of security to follow up. We are going to do our own investigation, and I can assure you that if it comes out that any DVLA official is involved, we will deal with it.
Based on what I'm hearing from you today, I decided, okay, apparently this thing is fake. I just go check it out and it's fake. What do I do next?
Yeah, so you should quickly get in touch with the DVLA or the enforcement agencies and tell them that you have been issued with a fake roadworthy sticker by a fraudster. But again, that is why we have also been encouraging our customers to, as much as possible, try and deal directly with our officers.
Meanwhile, Assistant Superintendent of Police Suleiman Asule Jr., who is an operations officer at the Accra Central Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service, is urging motorists to deal directly with the officers of the DVLA to prevent themselves from falling victim to the activities of these Goro boys.
True, he was sent to court. Okay. He has been granted bail to reappear on the 2nd of next month, that is February 2016. And then we are still making follow-up on just to know, because from his statement, he is not doing this alone. He has other accomplices. And then we are trying to get to the bottom of that.
Other accomplices as in people who, by perchance, work with the DVLA?
No, so far, okay, the name he has mentioned is not an official of the DVLA.
Okay.
And that is the dangerous aspect that we always talk about. We have always advised people that any time they get to the DVLA, the DVLA officials have tags around their neck, or they have information center or desk. So if you are in any difficulty, just approach them, go to the information desk. They will actually hand you over to an official to deal with. But if you go there and you are dealing with somebody who cannot be identified, because the only name he has so far mentioned is a name, just one name, and that is the only name he knows. But at least if you are dealing with an official, you may see maybe the full name, and it will be easier for us to actually trace. So that is my advice anyway.
So the police has not been able to arrest this accomplice of this gentleman who perpetrated this crime?
So far, no, yes, we have not been able to get him. He is on the run. We have put in some measures to track him down.
Now, audited accounts of the Ghana Health Service have revealed the payment of almost 175,000 cedis to fraudulent persons, including a national service person who posed as a contractor to undertake works for the service. Now, Director General of the service, Dr. Ebenezer Apiadinsho, has been responding to questions at today's Public Accounts Committee sitting. From where my colleague Elton Brobe joins me. He's been monitoring events there. He joins me live now with a lot more on what has been going on so far. So, Elton, good afternoon. Tell us more about these illegal payments made by the Ghana Health Service.
Well, the description the Auditor General is provided today is that these are payments made to fraudulent persons, which has resulted in financial loss of 174,000 Ghana cedis. Now, according to the Auditor General in the report covering the Ghana Health Service, they noted, for example, that in September 2011, the head of the Estate Management Department of the service, through the Director General, requested from the Ministry of Health to settle unpaid claims for civil works projects between 2008 and April 2011. Now, in response, according to the Director General, the Ministry transferred an amount of 1.583 million Ghana cedis to take care of these costs. However, on November 2011, the Ghana Health Service headquarters paid one John Mensah, who posed as a representative of Nameless Ventures, an amount of 68,000 Ghana cedis for the completion of a surgical theater at the St. Joseph Hospital in Drapa in the Upper West region. However, receipt of the amount was not an official receipt, and it was handwritten by the pay-in account officer of the Ghana Health Service, one Isaac Lai Tete. Mr. Tete has been explaining that the payee could neither read nor write, so he had to complete the receipt for him when he Tete was handing out the check to him. Now, what has come out to light is that this person who received the money, one John Mensah, who posed as a representative from Nameless Ventures, actually faked the registration of this company, took the money, opened an account with Intercontinental Bank, deposited the money in this particular account, withdrew it, and now this person's on the run. They are yet to apprehend him and then to take back the money. In the issue relating to the national service person, the Auditor General says their attention was drawn to the role that could have been played by this person, this fraudulent activities by one Ebenezer Osei, who was a supposed national service person of the Ghana Health Service. Now, this Ebenezer Osei was assigned, according to the report, to the front desk at the Finance Department of the Ghana Health Service during his service period. Now, he was in charge of receiving and dispatching correspondence. Now, according to the report, his schedule may have given him access to vital financial and related information, which he used to relay to the fraudsters. Ebenezer Osei was said to have vacated post the moment the fraud was detected and has since not been seen in spite of efforts to trace him. They've investigated further at the National Service Secretariat, and it came to light that the appointment letter this Ebenezer Osei submitted to the service was forged, and that no one by that name had been enrolled or registered by any office of the National Service Secretariat. And according to the NSS, the service number used by Osei was that of a national service person, one Richard Chumasi Dankwa, who was posted to the DVLA Ashanti. You know, these individuals have managed to siphon 174.4 thousand Ghana cedis, yet they are yet to be found. The police is on them, and the Ghana Health Service, according to the Director General, is helpless in retrieving this money until the police are able to apprehend these individuals.
Right. Quite revealing there. But we also told of a directive to the police to arrest an auctioneer for the service. Now, tell us more about that as well.
Yeah, this is also one other infraction, raised by the Auditor General. And this happened in 2012. According to the report, the auctioneer auctioned some vehicles belonging to the Ghana Health Service. Now, the auctioneer realized 44,125 Ghana cedis, but only paid 17,000 cedis into the designated account, leaving an amount of 37,125 Ghana cedis unaccounted for. Now, this auctioneer works with Shelter Matt and was appointed by the Director General to do the auction. The sad thing is that this same person, they after him, they can't find him, and for that reason, attempts to get back the money has become a major challenge. What they have done is to get the national security and the police to go after this person. The name is not provided, but he works with an auction company, Shelter Matt, and he alone has in his possession 37,000 Ghana cedis.
Many thanks for that particular update. Elton Brobe bringing us a lot more on that revealing piece there. But you're still watching News Today here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you a lot more stories. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us here on News Today. To some more stories now. In some power consumers are accusing the Electricity Company of Ghana of charging tariffs higher than that approved by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. The PURC in December last year announced a 59.2% increase in electricity tariffs, with that of water also going up by some 67.2%. A month after the announcement, however, consumers say power distributor, the ECG, is charging more than it is supposed to.
50 cedis. I was expecting to last for about a month, but I realized after 3 days it was off. So I went in for another, I think 20 cedis. And with the 20 cedis, I was just imagining that 50 plus 20, how much would it be? So it should last for like 2 months. But there was so much issue, so we were thinking there was a problem with the meter. But we've really complained about this meter, and yet so nothing is happening. It's serious. I'm buying prepaid myself. I buy prepaid myself. I go in for prepaid credits, yes, all the time. So nobody buys it for me. I buy it for myself. So if I'm finding this kind of issues and I have other utility bills to pay, then I think prepaid shouldn't take all my expenses.
Like initially, I used to buy 70 Ghana cedis, and that could last me for a month. And now it's only lasting for 2 weeks. And every now and then, I just checked my meter this morning. Like it's running short. I don't know what's wrong with the system. They would have to check it again, please.
My auntie just bought some like 2 days ago. That is 50 cedi, and we put it in, and the following day it went off. And then we went to buy another 50 cedi. 2 days time it went off. So we went back to their office and they are telling us they don't have anything to say about it and blah, blah, blah and stuff. So I think the government should do something about it and tell us what's wrong with their machines and all that stuff so that we can know what they are about to.
It doesn't last long, does it? Sometimes we buy like 100 cedis a week.
I don't think it's okay at all. It's very bad. Just 3 days and then 20 cedis gone, just like that. And we've been using only, let me see, the radio and then the light. That's why we don't even use our fridge anymore. Yeah, it's very bad. It's very bad.
Light bill is too much. Me, myself, last 2 months, I pay 40 Ghana cedis. By last month and this month, I pay 100 Ghana cedis. That one is too much increase.
Actually, people are suffering. Seriously, people are suffering. You buy a unit, within that very day, it goes. So you have to. I suffered it on Saturday. I bought units. Within some 1 hour, it went. I went back. It went. I went back. Yesterday, I had to buy some.
Information available to Joy News indeed suggests that consumers are having to pay more than the 59.2% increase in electricity tariffs, and they're actually paying between 69% and 73% depending on their consumption. Now, this, we are told, follows a directive by the PURC mandating the ECG to charge an additional 10%. My colleague Hannah Odame has read through the statement and our reports.
And this 10% extra that you are paying for, it's divided into two. 5% goes to the public lighting levy. That's what we call the street lights. Okay. Do you have a street light in your area?
I'm not sure.
But you're paying 5% out of what you pay for now for your power now. Also, you pay 5% for the national electrification levy. That's extending power to the rural areas. This project started in 1990 and it's expected that by the year 2020, every rural community will have power. And so you and I will have to pay for that. You're paying 5% of whatever you're paying on power now. After all this has been collated, the monies have been put into a pool, 40% of the amount collected will be paid into power generation, so that at least in the next 5 or 10 years, we will not have issues with power generation, because obviously the population will increase. 60% of that money will also be paid to ECG and NEDCO to cover energy consumption. And we all know that ECG obviously will have a lot of energy consumption to do. Then when we go to the other 5% that you are paying for the national electrification levy, after all the monies have been collected at the end of the month, 60% of that money will be paid into the power generation. So a lot of it goes into power generation. And you know why? As population increases, of course, you need a lot of power generation. 60% will go into power generation. And then infrastructure sub-account. 40% of that pool, the money that you've collected, will also be paid into the National Electrification Fund. And this is where they eventually go for the money and extend power to other parts of the countries. And we are hoping that by the year 2020, a lot of rural areas, communities will have power.
We're still watching news today here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. Time now for some business after this break. So let's do business now. Here's Emmanuel we always talk cash anyway. So hi, Emmanuel.
Hi,
time to talk cash. I'm seeing Standard Chartered Bank in the news.
Well, it's not exactly cash, but you know, financial institutions are becoming more and more skeptical about, you know, funding the oil and gas industry, basically because of the price war or the price downturn.
I'm told it's now 27.5.
Yes, thereabouts. So and it's. I mean, there's all indication that it will drop further before the close of the year. Maybe hitting the $1 figure. Wow. We hope it doesn't. It's really bad for the industry, especially the nascent industry like ours. You know, it's really bad.
Wow.
All right, so enjoy business news. Standard Chartered Bank says it has no intention of reducing credit to workers in the oil sector despite declining crude prices. There are fears that because of the current developments in the oil sector, which has seen crude prices drop by more than 50%, most financial institutions will be cutting lending to the area. But head retail banking for Africa and Middle East, Jaydeep Gupta, tells Joy Business that it will not be the situation as long as the client meets all credit requirements.
Retail is not in that sector. Retail deals primarily with individuals, and individuals who are typically in employment, and we are a more deposit-heavy franchise. So we provide a holistic set of products which covers from deposits to wealth to lending for individuals. So I think we are reasonably well positioned. I don't see a reason for us to panic. The point is, we have our own credit policies, which takes into account the current and future conditions of the industry in which the individual operates. Basis that, we'll take a call. It is not a shutdown. Let's be very clear. It is a normal business as usual condition. So we will continue to operate in that mode.
Now, only a quarter of the population is now unbanked, That is according to the latest financial inclusion survey by the World Bank's think tank consultative group to assist the poor, CGAP. Now, according to the study, the proportion of the unbanked, which stood at about 50% 5 years ago, has now reduced by half. This was driven primarily by the thriving mobile money service, which currently has 4.4 million active accounts. But how can government take advantage of this to grow the economy? Buddy Buruku is in charge of digital financial services at CGAP, and he has been speaking to Joy Business.
So government really needs to find additional opportunities for mobile money to explode. For example, there's a program called LEAP, which is a social benefits transfer, government paying amounts of money to the poorest in the nation. And there's been a small pilot to do that using mobile money. They can proliferate more types of examples like this, whereas government hospitals, schools can accept mobile money as a form of payment. People can be asked to pay their taxes or the utility bills, water bills through mobile money. If you create all of these channels, then the market for mobile money increases. People then save time not having to travel to pay for their bills and their various other expenses. They are more secure because they don't have to carry cash on them. They're not exposed to the dangers of having somebody rob them or lose the money. And then at the same time, it's secure. If you lose your phone, you can always retrieve that money. Whereas if you lose your wallet with cash in it, you'll be lucky if you get it back.
And finally, before we go, Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Ekos Piogabra has hinted more Chinese firms are expected to relocate to Ghana as a result of the economic downturn in that country. China is currently rated Ghana's largest import supplier. The local manufacturing sector is therefore expected to take advantage of the slump by producing more to meet the possible shortfall in Chinese imports. But the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, says local manufacturers lack the capacity for this. Speaking with Joy Business, Dr. Ekos Piogabra, however, explains government is taking steps to still benefit from the slump.
Chinese themselves have decided that they want to relocate a lot of their businesses to Ghana. So they've actually written to our ministry to prepare to receive them. And later this year, we are hoping to have a Ghana-China investment forum, where there are a lot of Chinese companies here, in any case, at this very forum. We hope to have a larger delegation coming from China to do matchmaking and counterparting with their colleagues. And if our circumstances also permit, we hope to send a big Ghanaian delegation sometime to China for an investment forum there as well. But over tens of thousands of Chinese companies need to relocate based on their own economic circumstances for a number of reasons, especially labor costs. And so Ghana has now become more competitive. African countries have become more competitive. The raw materials are here anyway, closer to us. So if they can bring with their technology and their capital to add value to the raw materials, it makes economic sense to them. And we are happy to accommodate other Chinese companies as long as they come in and obey our laws and they don't go into galamsey and other kinds of illegal activity.
Also, that does it for business for the afternoon. Thank you very much for your company, and do join the business desk again later tonight at 7. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Biafi. Keep watching the news.
Thanks for staying here on News Today. To some more stories now, the Inspector General of Police has directed that the Criminal Investigations Department takes over investigations into circumstances leading to the death of one Isaac J at Majo here in Accra. Isaac J was shot and killed by the police early this week during an operation to arrest a suspected armed robber in the locality. Accra Regional Police PRO ASP Efiatenge says an independent pathologist will conduct the autopsy for purposes of transparency.
The regional commander has directed that the Criminal Investigations Department take over the investigations of the case. This, we believe, will give a true picture of what actually happened. And they appeal to the IGP, and the IGP has also approved that the investigation be handled by the Criminal Investigations Department. So the case is being forwarded to the CID headquarters for further investigations. He also directed that for transparency and for also the true picture of the whole incident, the autopsy that should be done on the bodies this time along should be done by an independent pathologist instead of the police pathologist. Thus also we believe that we would have a very independent and neutral reports or results of the autopsy reports. Then lastly or thirdly, the regional command, however, and strongly believes that it is long overdue since let's say Ghana established an independent police complaints commission. So he's appealing to the government and also the parliament to respectfully do their best to ensure that we have an independent complaint commission.
However, the family of the deceased is impressing on the police to quickly launch investigations into the incident and bring the culprits to book.
Since his birth, he's been living all his life here with his grandmother, and we've not actually seen him to be the information the police put on air yesterday. We were not happy. On today, the police themselves coming to clarify issues today that they were sorry for putting wrong information on air about Ezekeye. He's not a criminal, as they put on here yesterday. That was not the case. So as a family, once they've come to plead with us that the police is going to do further investigation on the issue and brought those people to book, we are waiting to them. We hope we are law-abiding citizens. So as they said, you can see we were trying to calm other family members down. They were very, in fact, the way they wanted to behave. I witnessed whatever happened. I was in my room when I heard the gunshot. I heard the shot. It was not one, twice.
So time now for some international news after this break. And that's how we wrap up on News Today this afternoon. My name is Kwabena Chenchenhini, watching this more news on myjohnonline.com. Coming up next, live on this same channel, is the Marketplace with John Amwako. Have a good afternoon.